Did you know that land-based discharge of human-made debris comprises the largest source of marine debris in oceans worldwide? And in the center of the Pacific Ocean is a gyre of marine debris known as the Great Pacific Garbage Patch. The surface area of the patch is estimated to be 39 times the size of Taiwan and is characterized by exceptionally high concentrations of plastics. Let's find out more in our next report.
The 18-meter-tall yellow rubber duck has stirred up a duck craze worldwide. However, its first association with the sea was plastic pollution. In 1992, a shipping crate from Hong Kong containing 29,000 plastic ducks was lost at sea when it fell overboard on its way to the United States. 19,000 bobbed their way to Indonesia and Australia, and the other 10,000 washed up on the shores of England 15 years later. No one at the time could have guessed that the bath toys would still be floating on the world's oceans nearly 20 years later.
Taiwan produces the equivalent of 2,000 rubber ducks of plastics in one day. Therefore, we really want to emphasize the serious environmental consequences this has and to encourage the general public to be more vigilant in their use of plastics.
Unbiodegradable plastic alone can contribute to marine pollution. In order to grasp the complexity of ocean currents and where marine debris ends up, Japanese Professor Shigeru Fujieda used cigarette lighters to track marine trash movement. Using the same method, the Kuroshio Ocean Education Foundation director, Zhang Taidi, stumbled upon a lighter from 1997, which commemorated the return of Hong Kong to China.
The
Kuroshio Current begins off the east coast of Taiwan, and from the South China Sea, it flows past Korea and Japan, carrying heaps of garbage northwards. As a result, we often find many Taiwanese-manufactured cigarette lighters in Japan and vice versa.
Situated 5,000 kilometers away from Taiwan, albatrosses that inhabit the Midway Islands are eating plastic which has been dumped into the oceans, mistaking it for food. As many as 200,000 albatrosses die each year from mistakenly consuming plastic, and 80% of the cigarette lighters they have ingested come from Taiwan or China.
The rubbish in our oceans travels with the wind and ocean currents and ends up in various parts of the world. Currently, there are 5 oceanic gyres which made up of the Great Pacific Garbage Patch, and situated closest to Taiwan is the North Pacific Gyre. If estimates are true, this is where most of the garbage will eventually end up.
As the world's largest landfill, experts say that the North Pacific Gyre has already collected more than 7 million tons of garbage, with a surface area 39 times the size of Taiwan. And most of the debris is made up of small plastic particles suspended just below the surface of the ocean. What about the other waters? Having spent 3 months in the North Pole to conduct marine biology research, Liao Yunji discovered much frozen waste in the Arctic Ocean. On another expedition in the Philippines in 2008, while trawling 2,000 meters deep to conduct biological research, Liao was stunned by what he captured in their nets.
When we pulled the trawl up onto the deck, we discovered that apart from rubbish, there was nothing else. It was all just rubbish.
Our ocean currents have carried undegradable waste across the world, hugely impacting the survival of the aquatic ecosystem and other sea organisms. Once this waste finds its way into marine life and into our food chain, can you imagine the consequences it will have on our health?